Well, not quite by the barest of margins, but England stumbled a little bit, but they have got across the line and they are into the semi-finals of the World T20. Michael Atherton and Eoin Morgan. It did get tense though, didn't it?
It certainly did. England were brilliant today in certain aspects of the game, and ultimately they came here with no other equation to worry about other than winning the game, and they walk away quite happy in the context of things, and a semi-final around the corner. But there are certain areas that I think they'll have to address this evening or tomorrow morning, because it didn't go as smoothly as they would have liked. Sri Lanka asked a few questions, particularly in the power play early against their bowlers, and it was nicely dragged back by Adil Rashid and Sam Curran.
Adil had a fantastic time, but he was the player of the match, and rightly so.
Absolutely, 4 overs, 1 for 16, and coming on at that critical time when Sri Lanka were powering ahead in that opening phase of the game, and it looked at one stage like England might have been chasing 160, 170, maybe even a few more, and that would have been a real challenge against their spinners on a holding pitch. So that period just after the power play when Adil Rashid came on, he took a key wicket. He didn't go for many runs, just 16 from his 4 overs, so a real confidence boost for him, because wickets have been a little bit hard to come by for him. Not that he's been bowling necessarily that badly. Well,
Hale's got England off to a flyer in the run chase, but it needed the expertise of Ben Stokes to get England home.
It did, and 75 for 1 opening partnership is absolutely outstanding. That relationship and partnership up front is going to be key moving forward with Jos Buttler, so another good day for them. But from there on in, it was a little bit of crisis mode, really, and Ben Stokes was the only one consistent thing that England had going for them. And everybody's been looking for a role for Ben Stokes in T20 cricket for a long time, and today I think we found it. Calmer, cooler heads, and he certainly produced.
One downside for England was the injury to Dawid Malan. The spare batter is Phil Salt, though. I mean, if Malan is ruled out.
Yeah, I suppose to Malan's advantage is that it's the second semi-final, so he's got an extra day to recover, as opposed to had it been the first semi-final here. But the way he pulled up rather sharply. That makes you be slightly fearful for him. They've got a good replacement, if needs be, in Phil Salt, who is a real dasher at the top of the order, and would fit in presumably quite happily there, and would take a little bit of rejigging around him, but they've got an adequate replacement.
England will play their semi-final at the Adelaide Oval with the dimensions. Do you think they'll have to change the side? Because your point is about death bowling, maybe?
Yeah, absolutely. Every ground that they've played on so far, they've gone into the wicket, taking pace off or pace on. They've not been under pressure to bowl Yorkers. I think at the Adelaide Oval, you need bowlers to go to, with the boundaries being long straight. So if Jos and Matthew Mott feel like they need to add to that, they might not go for Salt. They might bring in a Chris Jordan or a death bowler to add to that, as I think all other areas might be covered.
Gentlemen, thank you very much indeed. So Group 1 is done and dusted from the World T20. New Zealand have progressed. They will play their semi-final here at the Sydney Cricket Ground. That is semi-final 1, and England will travel to the Adelaide Oval, probably to take on India. That will be Thursday.